Don't let your past win. You know, this video is for those who are hurting, those going through a hard time, and those who already, don't have the strength to encourage themselves or have people around them to uplift them. Hey, this video is for you. I'm here to tell you, don't let your past win. No matter what you went through, the addictions, the shootings, the crazy nights, don't let that win. You're in 2026, and if you're watching this, God gave you a chance to be here once again. If you woke up today, if you ate, if you're able to walk, if you're able to breathe, talk to people, text, use you're here. Let's be grateful for the small wins we have. Let's first acknowledge that we here. We're alive. Being alive is a blessing. We don't know what it's like being gone. Growing up for me, it was very tough. Older brothers. I lost an older brother. I also lost another brother who passed away in his sleep, and I lost one brother to gun violence. And all these things now are past things. And I'm not saying that the grieving stopped or the hurting stopped, but if I allow what happened back then, if I allow those feelings to determine what I should do today, I wouldn't be making this video. I wouldn't be talking to you guys. I say that to say where coming from a past of trauma, hurt, pain, those things can really have a mental breakdown on you, behind the scenes. When it's time to lay down, and it's dark, nobody knows how you feel but God. Nobody really knows what's replaying over in your mind. Nobody really knows the nights you survived or the negative things you overcame from people might have been talking negative about you, talking about the shoes you got on, the clothes you wear, not knowing there's a struggle behind everything you have, So I say this to say, don't let your past win. Let's be grateful. Let's find things that we can smile, Let's find things that we can be more grateful of, You have a room, you have a bed to sleep in, you have food to eat, You might not get along with your family, but hey, you still have a family. You get what I'm saying? Growing up for me, I can honestly say, like, it wasn't the best, And I faced a lot of problems growing up, a lot of problems. Getting tattoos at an early age and stuff like that. Not hopping in the streets, but having friends who did. And my past taught me when I get somewhere where I want to be, to forget about it, And I say that to say where you could find a lot of temptations in your life from your past, like negative people, for example. People at work, they may be talking to you crazy or, maybe testing you to see who is this person or how is this person is when they get upset, rage baiting you. And in your past, you may have been snapping out on people, hurting people, fighting people all the time, making an example out of people. And then, in this moment, you may think about, hey, I could become that person who I used to be, or I could show this person that I'm no longer that person. You get what I'm saying? It's all about not letting your past win. And it's no matter what's in your past, but we know if it's in the past, it's meant to be left behind because it's no good, I want you to wrap your mind around things that you can accomplish, things that you can focus and do, It's nothing, it's nothing too impossible for God. If you pray about it and put the work in behind it, you'll get it. Trust. But you first have to realize that, hey, you got to change, Your past and the person you are now, you need to see two different sides of yourself. If you still see yourself acting the same way you used to do, that's a problem. You really can't accomplish a lot this year or in your life, period, if you still acting the same way you used to act. There's supposed to be a different version of yourself. It's 2026. You shouldn't be acting the way you used to act in 2020. To get things you never had, you have to do things you never done. And if you constantly have the same old thing and you're tired of having it, it's time for you to do something else. But in order to do something else, you first have to become someone else. You get what I'm saying? In order to put in that work, you have to be a person who enjoys putting in that work. You get what I'm saying? Instead of playing a game all day, and wanting to accomplish your dreams, you have to put the game to the side and focus on what you can accomplish now. But hey, it's up to you, people could tell you, hey, do this and do that, but it's still your choice at the end of the day. And it's really about how bad you want it. And hey, you just have to keep in mind, I'm here to not let my past win, because your past, and a lot of us, by the grace of God, we don't look like what we've been through, which is a blessing. But a lot of us are not meant to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, due to our past and what we've been through, we could have killed ourselves, God forbid, we could have hurt ourselves. We could have died back in the mess we was in. But once again, God gave us grace and mercy and allowed us to be here. And the best thing we can do is not let what happened to us win and focus on what we could do now. Show God, by you living right and by you accomplishing and going after your purpose, you giving God glory, because only that gift came from him. You know what I'm saying? You get certain things from God that he trusts you with, and it's up to you to handle it the right way. You will make it. You can, and you will not allow your past to defeat you. I speak life into you guys. I know that you won't let your past win. You may have a hard day, but hey, you don't gotta let that bad moment or that bad situation control the whole day. You get what I'm saying? Don't let your past win. Don't become that person who you used to be. Show that old person that you used to be that, hey, I'm no longer that person. And sometimes you have to show the ones who watched you grow up and the ones who's always around you, and you have to show them, like, hey, I'm no longer that person who smoked weed. I'm no longer that person. And ain't nothing wrong with playing the game, but I'm no longer that person who play it all day and don't have no money to myself. You get what I'm saying? It's supposed to be certain levels, bro, that you reach in a certain point of time in your life. It's not about age. It's not about the most material things, but no, it's all about, taking care of your family, leaving something behind, leading by example. We need more leaders in this world, especially what's going on in social media. Everything, acting foolish is being praised. Acting stupid and doing dumb stuff is being praised more than becoming a leader, more than speaking out and saying, hey, I don't agree with that. You get more haters for saying you don't agree with that than people who want you to agree with something that's just not good. So, hey, my message to you, don't let your past win. Keep praying, keep God first. And bro, you got this. I believe in you. I see y'all.